I could tell you, as a mother of 6, teens to toddlers, and a wife to Gino Barbaro, that it is a challenge for me to keep boundaries. We have a big extended family, we have a big house, we have lots of friends, that equals big parties. Because I can and will do it all, even if it ends up with me in bed with a fever from exhaustion, always saying yes may not be a good idea. I had to find out that the hard way many, many times. 2 thoughts on boundaries. First, I can control myself. I can control what I do, what I say, hopefully, what I think, my actions, but I cannot control someone else. But what I can control is what I let them get away with. I'll give you 2 examples. First, if I have an appointment every week at 2 o'clock and the person calls or shows up at 2:15, well, I could do a few things. I could say, oh, don't worry about it. I know you must have been busy, no big deal. The result will be, well, probably the same next week. They'll probably look at the clock, it's almost 2 o'clock, but don't worry, Julie doesn't mind if I'm late. Well, what else can I do? I could say something different. I could say I would appreciate it if our meeting was on time. I do have other commitments I need to attend to. What do you think that they'll do next time if I say that? Probably be on time. Another example. If a child asks you for the same thing over and over again until you say yes, something I'm guilty of, the behavior will continue because I'm allowing it to continue. What can I do instead? Well, maybe I could sit with them and explain what the reason is for the no answer. I could sit and talk to them and think about alternatives that they could do instead. This may take a few more minutes, but in the long run it will help. I can control myself, I can't control others, but I can control what I allow them to get away with. Second thought on boundaries. Here's where my yes, my responsibilities end, and yours begins. So let's say I'm at work. I work for a great company, I like the people, they're all wonderful. But the guy next to me is not really as organized as I am. Maybe he has struggles with making phone calls, doing paperwork, who knows. If I'm constantly crossing my boundary into his, and I'm doing the work for him, I'm actually not allowing him to do his responsibility. I'm actually taking it from him, and I'm not really helping him. To do little extra work for people, charitable work is fine. But when I cross the boundary constantly, I'm actually not allowing him to take on his responsibilities, and I'm not doing him any service. Or let's say at home, my responsibility is the laundry. It's folded, it's clean, it's put in the kids' room. Now, their responsibility is to put it away. If I'm constantly going in there and seeing it and putting it away for them, I'm not allowing them to be responsible. I'm taking that responsibility away from them and not doing any kind of service for them. What about family boundaries? Do we talk with our spouse about who we choose to be around, what we're exposed to, what we're saying yes to and no to as a family? Do they line up with our family values? Do you think it's okay if I say to my family or friends, you know what, could you give me a call before you came over instead of just stopping by? I know that's hard to do, and I know that's hard to say, but it is okay to make boundaries. And at first it might be uncomfortable, but we can always respectfully communicate what's important. What we say yes and no to, do they line up with our values?